Hey guys, welcome to the GunPoint. I'm Brian. We're back here today. I've got, again, Dr. Dave Dolby with over at KVAR. Dave, as many of you know, is a contributing author over at the KVAR blog. You guys can check it out. It's a great blog to check out. In fact, we love their stuff over at the GunPoint. We're all big supporters of the Second Amendment. Dave, welcome.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. How you doing?
Good. You recently wrote an article about NASCAR. I want to hear the story. What happened? Can you tell us a little bit? Give me the background. What was going on?
I'm still shocked about it. It makes no sense at all. The whole details of it really makes no sense. In April, we were approached by National Events Publications, and they asked us, we had a chance to advertise, take out a full-page advertisement in the program sold at the last 26 races of the season, the Race to the Cup. Mm-hmm. And then it was going to be emailed out, talked about on the radio program, passed out at SEMA, the car show, and everything. And so we thought it was a great opportunity for us. So they went through all this stuff. They gave us all these deadlines. We put in our ad. We had it approved, and that was on April 19th. Then on August 19th, they come back, they send us an email, and they say, due to NASCAR's gradually shifting position on firearms, your ad was one of 17 that's been rejected. NASCAR would consider it if it had less controversial accessories. Certain types of guns weren't going to be allowed, anything they considered an assault-style weapon or a sniper rifle. I mean, I assume that's any type of scoped hunting rifle or anything, because, there's no such thing. I mean, I've looked through a lot of different e-commerce sites. I don't know of anybody who's got a category for sniper rifles. I see a lot of stuff. I don't see anything on sniper rifles. So we contacted them. We asked them for some kind of clarification. We haven't been able to get NASCAR to give us back to us. But this National Events publication, they were trying to sell us into one of their other publications. So it isn't like they made the call that they wanted to go anti-gun for some reason. They're like, hey, Friendly said that we just want your money. If we can't do it here, how about here? We'll give you some alternatives. We'll shift your ad over here. Of course, we couldn't do that. We didn't want to do that. So I went ahead and I, started putting the story out to the community, and it's been picked up by others. Been some of the other companies who their ads were banned that have come on. They've been talking about it. They've been saying about how, the same thing. They're censored. They're banned. You can't split it. You can't say this gun's good, that gun's bad. We know. I gave them the examples. I said, please pass this message along to NASCAR. Ask them what happened to Dick's Sporting Goods when they tried to do this. Ask them what happened to Yeti coolers when, when word came out and why they went ahead and tried severing ties with just a discount code. I mean, this is NASCAR. This is an organization born out of moonshine bootleggers. This is good old boys from the South.
Used to be the
all
Winston
of a sudden
Cup.
You're going to say, we don't like this gun. That one's too scary for us. No, and so, the NRA, Fox News, some other people have contacted me. They've got stories coming out in the next week. Keep an eye out for them. It's going. It's been picked up. Pop Culture, Bleacher Report, Ballistic, one of Athlon's publications, their blog, they've picked it up. So the word's getting out there, and this is only going to continue to grow. They can't sweep it under the carpet. They can't just, pretend it goes away.
Q, pull up that ad. It should be on the KVAR blog. There's a copy of the ad that was banned by NASCAR. Do you have a copy of that we can pull up and show everybody? Yeah, right there. So scroll down just a little bit so you can see that. That's the ad that was originally banned by NASCAR right there. It's got a picture. Looks like it's got the KVAR logo across the top. Nice big bold logo. You guys did a good job with your advertising there. And then it looks like you've got an individual holding, let's see, they got a handgun.
He's holding a Dan Wesson. He's got Circle 10 magazines in his plate carrier. He's got a Hogue knife. He's got all industry partners, all companies that we work with, all products that we normally carry on the e-com site of kvar.com. We've got Streamlight on there. We got Right On Optics on there. And then we have one of Arsenal's AKs on it, slung across his back with a KCI drum.
And they didn't like this because it was too much. They're taking a gradual shift. Let's start out. What the heck is a gradual shift?
I can only assume we don't want to go in all the way. We want to be a little bit pregnant. But in a few more months, we're going to be all the way pregnant suddenly.
So is this NASCAR saying just the tip?
I guess it. Well, you know, what's a gradual shift? I guess they want to go complete anti-gun. They're just sending up a test balloon, and people need to go out there, and people need to go to the feedback site on NASCAR and let them know about this. Let them know that this isn't right. Let them know that they're upset about it. If they don't hear from anybody, they'll continue down this path. It's a big organization. It's a big sports organization. If we let one get away with it, why wouldn't the rest of them all do the same thing?
Well, and I know one of the biggest endorsers of NASCAR has been Realtree Outdoors for a number of years. I know that Realtree sponsors a car. They have, I mean, there's a lot of different cars that they have that are sponsored by people within the outdoor sporting goods communities. And for them to be able to take a position like this, I mean, what's companies like, you know, Realtree and other companies that are big? Mossy Oak's got one, I think. Doesn't Mossy Oak have a car
Mossy
as
Oak's
well?
had one. I don't think they currently do, but Gander Outdoors.
Yeah.
They got the Gander Outdoors truck
Cabela's
series.
has a car, I think.
2 days before we got the notice on this ad being banned, they had the in Bristol. They had the NASCAR, the NRA Bass Pro Night at the Races.
Bass Pro, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. So they had all of that. Henry Rifles, apparently they just approved for a car, but Henry doesn't make any of the scary guns that they're worried about. You know, they don't make any of what they consider to be an assault style. I'm not quite sure what that means. It's a made-up term, but nothing that they consider scary. You know, okay, maybe lever actions are okay. How do you say this gun's good, that's gun bad? It's all about the user. It's not about the gun. But they're trying to pick and choose. They're trying to say, I'm okay with this one. I'm not okay with that one.
So there, according to your article, there were a number of manufacturers and advertisers that were affected by this. I think you said there was like CZ, Beretta, and Daniel Defense, and some others. Is that?
And some others. I'm sure I saw the name on another one the other day that came out with a big censored ad across theirs. I'm blanking on the name. I think it was Dark Storm.
Okay.
They had the Valiant. I know it was the ad, and they said they got banned. A couple others have come out and said the same thing. Yeah, our ad got hit.
How in the world? What I mean, let's start out kind of the foundation of what NASCAR was, right? I mean, so you mentioned it briefly on how NASCAR got started, right?
Yeah, if you didn't win the race with the feds on Friday night, you couldn't go to the track and race on for race day on Saturday. I mean, that was the saying.
And this is the same company that fought for years and years, NASCAR did, to keep it as the Winston Cup, right? Because
they had the Winston Cup, they had the Busch Series.
Yep.
I mean, they're good with tobacco and alcohol, but now they're suddenly, after years, I mean, before we took this ad out, we did our research. We looked at the ones who had been advertising for 2, 3, 4 years, figuring if that was some good names in the industry, that this was a worthwhile thing. They were getting a good response, or they wouldn't be coming back year after year. I mean, you know, like everything, you do your homework before you decide to just place an ad. So they've been allowing these types of things, obviously with no issue, and now all of a sudden it's feel-good politics.
Well, and NASCAR, you know, this is, and I laugh because you think of ATF, right? Alcohol, tobacco, firearms.
Right.
But so with NASCAR now it's just AT. They've decided to drop the F on ATF on the deal, right? I mean, so
I guess so.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what these guys at NASCAR were thinking. You think about other companies though that have tried to do this. You mentioned Dick's. You mentioned some of the other ones. They've just it's never been a good thing for the company. For their stock share, you know, it really kills people when they go ahead and take these type of positions. It's better off for them just to take no position and just let it lie and just do business rather than try to come out and take a position, which ultimately hurts them in the long run.
Right, and in the article that we have there on the KVAR blog, which is blog.kvar.com, it shows right there the quote that directly came from National Events Publications that says this is what NASCAR told them. On that same note, and in NASCAR's defense, because I don't want anybody to be wrongly accused here, another magazine, Pole Position, that works with NASCAR heavily, and their rep is saying that they think it's somebody else doing this, that it's not NASCAR's position at all. Well, yet the story's out there, it's growing in steam, and NASCAR isn't responding, isn't even denying it. And their rep won't come on and even deny it. They kind of go a little bit, yeah, we're going to talk to you, and then a day goes by, and then, no, we'll talk to you, and then a day goes by, but we haven't been able to get anything official for NASCAR to say, no, this was some kind of a rogue, somebody, made this call.
Well, now is not the time for NASCAR to go silent. I mean, if there's a time where they wanted to nip this in the bud, they better start getting it out there soon, or else it's going to be Yeti all over
Yeah,
again.
I mean, once it grows, I mean, you know how the internet is. It's great to get the word out there. It's bad on some hands because if the wrong word does get out there, if there was some mid-level manager who made this and it wasn't an official policy or something nefarious at national events publications or something, I mean, they print all the programs for NASCAR, NHRA, Major League Baseball, Pro Golf, NFL, NBA. I mean, they've got everybody locked up.
The bull riding.
But they were trying to sell me from one publication to the next. So it makes no sense that they'd be the ones that were trying to go anti-gun on us.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it makes no sense that NASCAR won't talk to you and give you an official word one way or the other.
Q, let's put up there exactly what their comment was. If you go back on the blog, you'll see it's in a big, right there. It says, "We just heard from NASCAR on a number of gun-related ads, and unfortunately, due to a gradual shift in NASCAR's position on guns, these ads must be edited/changed, especially those that are depicted as assault-style rifles/sniper rifles. NASCAR is still open to some of the less controversial gun accessories, concealed carry, or classes."
Yeah, nowhere does it say it's okay with another gun. I mean, even when they told me about this ad, now gave me 24 hours to create a new ad. They said maybe if you just use the half where the guy was carrying the pistol, that one we could submit back to them and see what they have to say, but no guarantees on it.
One of the things that I think is interesting is that they say right in there that this is NASCAR's position. This is NASCAR's position on guns. And so NASCAR, if you have a different position, you better make it known, because this is what's going out and has gone out and will continue to go out as your position unless you guys say something different.
It's going out. More and more news organizations, gun blogs are picking it up every day. The NRA is planning to do a piece. Keep in touch with with your NRA and their publications. You'll see something coming out from them very soon from author Mike Faw. Frank Minter, he works for the NRA. He's done stuff for Fox News. He's contacted me on it. Ballistic magazine, I think it's ballistic.com, one of Athlon's publications. They've done something on it. Ammo Land, we've picked it up, obviously. Pop Culture, Beecher Report. Every day, it's just getting more and more. I'm getting more and more stories sent to me about how other news organizations, other blog sites are picking this up. And we're getting more on the comments from the people, and the comments are very negative towards NASCAR, obviously, with this decision. So they really need to come to terms with this, get out in front of it, apologize if it was something that happened, correct the action, and go forward.
Well, the NASCAR fans, I mean, we're talking about, and I don't want to stereotype anybody, but I mean, we all know who kind of the NASCAR fans are.
Forget the fans. The drivers are allowed to just shoot off guns. They're in the victory, in victory lane. They're popping off, blank rounds and that. And NASCAR's allowing that.
Well, and you
can shoot off a couple of 6 guns, but you can't look at an ad in a program.
Well, and I'm a hunting show junkie. I love to watch all the hunting shows, right? And so I sit there and I watch Realtree Outdoors, and Realtree Outdoors has their segment where every year you see Bill Jordan and those guys taking out all the different guys from NASCAR to go on big elk hunts all over it, and deer hunts up in Wyoming or wherever else they go, Arizona, New Mexico. And these are NASCAR guys that are true, carrying guns, hunting, fishing. These
go back
guys.
to Dale Earnhardt Sr. How many years was he on Realtree Monster Bucks,
Yep.
on Remington Outdoors, on Mossy Oaks Hunting the Country? I mean, he used to do all the big hunting programs. He was huge. NASCAR was huge. All the fans were behind it.
Yep.
And he used one of those, scoped rifles. I never saw him shooting one, really. No, please, give me the less accurate rifle. I want to see if I can actually just wound this animal instead of killing it. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
It's someone who obviously doesn't understand the subject matter.
Well, and what I'm getting disappointed in is there are so many, and I want to go to a broader picture for a second. I mean, we've got so many companies across the country that are taking positions that, first of all, they don't have to take. For some reason, they think that they need to shift further to the left. When in fact, what we've seen is that companies that have shifted further to the right have actually succeeded better. When you look at something like Chick-fil-A, okay? Chick-fil-A not being open on Sundays, taking positions against all different types of things, right? That openly conservative. Number one rated this year, I think the number one fast food establishment in the country. Beat out McDonald's. I mean, Chick-fil-A.
Amazing.
And then you go to In-N-Out, is taking, the storm as far as hamburgers go. And they put the Bible verses on the bottom of their cups, right?
Right.
And so, I mean, more and more companies are going more and more conservative, and they have success. And then you take that and you contrast that to these companies like Dick's and otherwise that are losing market share because they decide to go so far left.
But the companies that are having success aren't trying to be political.
Correct.
They're trying to show who they are. Mm-hmm. With NASCAR, they're a sports organization. KVAR.com, we're all about hunting, fishing, shooting, sports, everything outdoors. We're not going to go and weigh in on whether makeup products should be tested on animals. It's not where we're at. NASCAR should be all about the sport. It should be all about the drivers. It should be all about the fan experience. Yet they're abandoning all that because they want to play politics. And that's where the companies get into the problem. They try and play politics when they should just stay out of the politics. Hey, if it's legal in your state, it's not our business. We're not the lawmakers. We're not there to make the morality judgment. We're there to let you, be an adult, let you pick your own stuff. We're not, doing some nefarious thing, marketing to children or anything. But there's certainly, how can adults even have the conversation with them if everything is so censored that the kids are never exposed to it, to even open the conversation by seeing an ad, by watching a program, by having a conversation. The new movement is to completely try to avoid all of that so that they're stuck not knowing anything. They're uneducated about the topic, and it's so much easier to control them than through fear on a topic that they're uneducated about. That's where the accidents happen with firearms, as we know. It's an education issue as much as anything to create the safety.
Let's imagine this, okay? If NASCAR had never said anything, just let these ads run. Nobody was out there that I'm aware of targeting NASCAR as a big pro-gun association, as a big pro-Second Amendment, and they were out there saying, we're going to protest you. I haven't heard of anything going on where they were a target of any type of ridicule, mocking, any type of protests that were going on against their products as a result of any position that they'd ever had or any advertiser they were allowing. They've actually gone affirmatively out of their way to create an enemy that they didn't have before. They didn't have any enemies before. Now they go and create an enemy or create a problem that they didn't need to. Why do that?
Name a business that goes out and says, gee, I really today, as part of our new strategy going forward, I want to alienate 70% of my fan base, 50% of my fan base. I don't care if it's 10% of my fan base or my customer base. Who goes out there and says, I've got too much. I've got too much here. I really want to just get rid of 10% of them even. And I'm sure NASCAR is way higher than that on pro-Second Amendment. Who goes out there and makes that type of a decision?
Well, you look what happened with the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, let's take a look. There's an organization that we can do something analogous with, right? I mean, you've got NASCAR and the NFL, two different sports arenas, different things like that. The players inside of the NFL really created a big controversy, right? And the NFL didn't do anything about it, continued to let them play politics instead of playing sports. And as a result of that, they suffered financially in a significant way.
Yeah, I mean, look at how Roger Goodell's flip-flopped. He tried to, I'll appease you a little bit for a little while, then I'll appease you for a little bit for a little while, then maybe I'll make a compromise. Well, maybe I'll just take it all out. Maybe I'll eliminate the issue if we forego players being on the field during the national anthem. That didn't play well. Look who was it? One guy from Pittsburgh who was, I don't know, an Army Ranger or something. He was the only one from his team who came out there as a veteran. And look at the way he was ridiculed.
Yep.
I mean, this is a man who went out there, who put it all on the line, who wrote the check for anything up to and including his life for his country. And yet he's ridiculed by the NFL. He's ridiculed by the other players for going out there and standing for the flag.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely ridiculous, and they've paid the price. The NFL will never get a large segment of those customers back, and that's where NASCAR's headed if they don't do something about this quick.
And I think that the segment that NASCAR has to lose is significantly larger than the segment the NFL lost out of that deal. I really do. I think that NASCAR, the NASCAR fan, the NASCAR base, that they have the potential to lose as a result of alienating Second Amendment advocates and gun holders is going to be huge. It's not going to play well for them.
And their numbers have been on a decline anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, this again, who wants to lose 10% of their base? But when you've already lost percentages of your numbers are already declining. Who wants to just go and over a political issue?
Yeah.
Something that has absolutely, this isn't over, we like hybrids, we don't like gasoline, combustion engines. This isn't over, we like, Goodyear tires, we don't like Pirelli for some reason because they use a different rubber compound or something that actually affects the race.
Yeah.
This is just sticking your nose into pure politics to piss off your fans.
Well, let's see how it plays out for them. We want to hear from you guys at the GunPoint. Let us know. I want to know what you think about what NASCAR is doing here. Are you in support of NASCAR? Do you support their position? Do you support companies that get involved in things they don't need to get involved in? I know that a lot of us, have made personal decisions on whether we will shop at a Dick's, or whether we shop at, or whether we buy what cooler we buy, or what whatever product we do, whether we're wearing Nike anymore or not, right?
Wouldn't let my daughter buy them the other day. She wanted them for school. We went into a generic shoe store that sold all the brands, and my daughter was real fussy, and they're like, well, what brand does she have now? And she's like, Nike. And she's like, oh, we have those. And I'm like, nope, off the table. Sorry, they killed the Betsy Ross thing over that. That's anti-American as far as I'm concerned. Sorry, honey, daddy loves you. Can't have Nikes.
Well, we wear Under Armour. It's one of those things.
Pick another one.
Pick another one. So we decided to switch over to Under Armour at our house. Yeah. But it's those type of things. Are businesses getting too involved in politics when they really don't need to, and why? Why are they doing it? Why are they taking these positions when they don't have to? Let us know what your thoughts are. Are you going to support NASCAR going forward? This is Brian Hardy. This is Dave. Appreciate you coming on with us today.
Thanks for having me on.
We're at the GunPoint. If you want to check us out at the gunpoint.com or on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We love hearing from you. Thanks so much. Have a great day.